I'm going to show you some of my favorite browser tips that I use all the time. One of the first ones is to pin a tab. If you right click on any tab and choose Pin Tab, it'll move it all the way over to the left hand side, and you can see it makes it smaller with just the icon. Now there's no way to accidentally close out of this tab. The next thing is to arrange tabs. You can arrange pin tabs. You just left click and you drag on any tabs. Pin tabs can be switched between pin tabs, but they can't be dragged back over. They always stay to the far left. I use duplicate tab a lot too. Right click, duplicate, and it'll actually give you the exact same website in two different tabs. That way sometimes I want to be able to look at something here but still refer back to this original tab. So that's why I'll do duplicate tab sometimes. There are so many times I accidentally will hit the X and close out of a tab. Great tip. Just right click on any tab and say reopen close tab. And that'll reopen the last tab that you closed. If you need to go back a few tabs that you've closed, you can come over to your settings and you'll see recent tabs here, and it gives you a list of all the tabs that you've recently closed. If you sync your Google Chrome browser across several different devices, you'll actually see a list here of all the different devices that you sync your Google Chrome account across. This is my student one, so I'm using it just on this computer. That's why I only see options for this computer's recently closed tabs. There are times I'm searching a website and I'll click on a link and it'll open up the new link in the same tab, but I wanted to keep that other website open. So you can just hit the backspace, get back to the web page you had open. This time, instead of left clicking, right click and you can choose to open link in a new window or a new tab. New window sometimes is a great idea because that allows you to resize both windows to where you can actually put two windows side by side. So that's another option when you're wanting to really just compare things if you don't have a double monitor. It does make things smaller, but that's a way to kind of compare two websites side by opening in a new window. Another thing, instead of right click and opening link in new tab, you can actually take a link, left click right on it, and notice how you see it's dragging, and I can drag it up to whatever location I want, let go, and now the link is opened right there. Some very basic tips is just saving a website as a favorite. In Google Chrome, you would click the star over here to the far right. It'll bring up what you can call it, any name you want, choose the folder that you want to save it to, and then you would click done. Another quick way to get a favorite right to the top of your toolbar is you can take the icon that's next to the URL address, left click, and just drag. You can see I'm bringing it over here. Drag it in, it brings it up here. Sometimes when you do that, you'll have websites that have a really long address to them. You can right click, choose edit, and now you can rename this website whatever you want it to be, something easy for you to remember. Don't change the URL address or that will actually break your link. So you can rename it whatever you want and hit save. I sometimes will do this with some of mine. I'll even have some websites that are 1, 2, and 3 because they're the ones I go to all the time. Because the shorter the names are, the more websites I can fit across my favorite bar. It's also easy to create a folder up on your favorites bar. Just right click, say add a folder, call it whatever you want, click save. You can move these folders by left clicking and dragging them. You'll notice a little black line. Wherever I drop that, that's where it will go. You can again take websites and drag them right into these folders and drop them in there. That's a great way to organize things as you're working right on the website. One final one that I'm going to give you a tip is one of my favorite tips when I discovered it. Let's say that you're researching and you have a bunch of websites open and you've got to leave, or maybe you're sharing your computer, it's at school, you've got to turn it off. You can right click on any of the tabs and choose to bookmark all tabs. That'll take all the tabs that you have open and put them into a folder. Make sure that you're really specific with these folders so that you'll know later what they are. I'm going to call this one 430 delete so I know I'm okay to delete it later, and click save. Then when you come back to your computer and you want to open up that folder, I'd put it in the tech folder. You just find that folder, right click, and say open all bookmarks, or you can even choose to open all bookmarks in a new window, and then it'll open up all those websites for you again and you can get right back to work.